Hey gang, it's JC and this is your Daily Dose for Friday, June 4th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. Hey, did you see this? Look at here. You can now subscribe to the Daily Dose on iTunes and listen to the audio on your smartphone. We're trying to add new things all the time here at jc'sdailydose.com. We're streamlining things and just trying to make it really, really cool. So tell your friends that we are here every Monday through Friday. People keep stopping me and emailing me, and there's a way to contact me. It's just contact JC. And I appreciate, by the way, the comments about the raccoons. I've got a family of raccoons living back here, and I was like thinking, geez, are they rabid? Are they going to bite a hole through the house? And people are like, probably not. Don't worry about it. So thank you for that. But people keep asking. Let me just get this right. The radio station took you off the air last October, and you had 15 months left on your contract, and they continued to pay you for doing nothing. Yes, that's right. Now, if you don't see the sense in that, there may not be any, but all I know is that's what's going on. So that's why we're twisting by the pool here. I mean, think about it. What would you do? All right, got the raccoon thing there. All right, this story has been beaten to death, but I haven't said anything about it, and I wanted to get the last word on this Armando Galarraga perfect game the other night involving the umpire Jim Joyce. Now, what the TV stations do now in trying to cover the story is what they did last night, and that is to go to like Little League fields and sports bars and try to get expert opinion. And again, you know, most of the people they're talking to don't have expert opinions, they just have opinions. And of course, if you go and talk to 10 people, you're going to get lots of varying opinions as to whether or not you should have more instant replay, for example. But that's not news, that people have opinions. It used to be that you would go to experts, people that have insight and have some sort of experience and background to espouse an opinion that adds further insight to the situation. But that's not what you get anymore. And you get a bunch of people saying, well, he's a good role model, this Armando Galarraga, because he didn't tear the place apart. And I'm thinking, really? By allowing incompetence on the part of an umpire to rob you of your place in baseball history, that makes you classy somehow? I don't think so. People saying, well, it would destroy the tradition if we had more instant replay. And it's like, do you know there's instant replay already on disputed home run calls? Did you not know that? Really? And then people are like, well, it would take too long, it would make the game too long. And by the way, but besides, it almost never happens. And it's like, well, which one is it? It's got to be one or the other. So I got a pretty easy idea how to fix all this. You don't want to undermine the umpire's efforts, and you don't want to destroy the tradition. So here's what you say. You say, we're going to expand replay now. In addition to disputed home run calls, if we have a dispute during a no-hitter or a perfect game, we'll go back and look at it. And also in the playoffs, we'll go back and look at a disputed call. We'll get it right. Problem solved, and we make it all retroactive to Wednesday night so the guy gets his perfect game back. Problem solved. But will Larry Bud Selig do it? I doubt it, because he's an idiot. Anyhow, Major League Baseball says it's not going to punish umpire Jim Joyce. They decided making him spend time in Detroit was punishment enough. Brendan Ryan and Jaime Garcia. Got to take my hat off to these guys, because I was down at the ballpark earlier this week doing interviews for an upcoming issue of St. Louis Sports Magazine, and I was talking to Tony and Mike Shannon, and I had a great conversation with Red Shane-Nates. Al Raboski, John Mozeliak, and Walt Jocketty was in town. Anyhow, there was a ball that bounced away from the players. They were just, a little batting practice and throwing a ball around. And the ball bounced up and went into these dare kids, these drug kids. And the guys were, I think, a little concerned that maybe one of the kids got hit by a ball. So they came over and they spent a little time talking with them, and they threw a couple of extra souvenir baseballs to them. So not all professional athletes are dickheads. So we say congratulations and a hello there to Brendan Ryan and Jaime Garcia. They took some time out. All right, by the way, while I was down there at the ballpark, on the Jumbotron, prior to the game, they're trying to sell tickets to this Eagles Dixie Chick show. And so they keep showing concert video up on the Jumbotron. Let me just tell you something. In 1975, I saw the Eagles and Dan Fogelberg at Erie Crown Theater in Chicago, part of McCormick Place. Then again in 1994 out at Riverport. Then again, it was either 03 or 02 when they were at the Scottrade Center. And I also throw in that I was at the Fox Theater when Don Henley went on stage as a solo act for the first time in his career. And he was scared to death, he told me. and I got to know them a little bit, but I do not want the last thing that I'm going to remember about what used to be one of my all-time favorite bands to be this horrible idea of teaming the Eagles up with the Dixie Chicks and sort of trying to make it into a country or country rock show. Well, country ain't country rock, and country rock is rock, but they're mishmashing this stuff together, and it's a terrible idea, and I will not be there. For those of you who are classic rockers, think about what that crowd is going to be like. You know, you're going to have all these country people that are there for the Dixie Chicks. It's going to be a horrible mishmash of, terrible idea. All right, new survey out today says only 1 in 3 Americans can name at least one Supreme Court justice. Is anybody surprised? And guess which one they can all remember. Clarence Thomas, 19%. John Roberts in second place, 15% could remember Sonia Sotomayor. We live in a country where you can remember all the Brady Bunch members and all the characters and the Village People, but only 1 in 3 Americans can name a Supreme Court justice. Anybody surprised? AT&T announced the other day that they're going to do away with their unlimited data packages, and they're going to put caps on usage for their users, and this is a very, very big story, particularly if you use the internet to stream MLB, watching baseball games or listening to MLB, or Hulu, Pandora Radio, Wonder Radio. All the long-term listening and long-term viewing is going to be affected. I think this is the beginning of the end. I really do. I've talked to a lot of people in the industry who say a lot of stuff that you have gotten accustomed to getting free off the internet will slowly but surely turn into paid services. Could be the beginning of the end, folks. Just remember this day. All right, freecreditreport.com is rebranding. They're not going to call themselves that or not. It's going to be freecreditscore.com, and it doesn't matter. It's still a ripoff because it all, as they say in the disclaimer at the end of the commercial, it implies enrollment in Triple Advantage, which is a fancy way of saying you're paying, okay? And if you go to annualcreditreport.com, you can get a free credit report, and that is free. And the government and the credit card companies allow you to do that once a year. But freecreditreport.com, or whatever it is they're going to call it, is and always will be a ripoff. They're looking for 5 new guys that are at least 21 years old to star in their new commercials, and I won't watch those either. All right, we told you yesterday that we were going to have a piece today about 10 sexual fantasies that can go horribly wrong, and also 10 signs that you're out of touch with technology, but we had a lot going on today. We're running long, and so we are going to save those for Monday, so you can come back then. In the meantime, the Video Village for one more day before we put it in the archives. We never throw anything away. We just put it into the archives, and you can access those up at the top of the page. Anyhow, we're going back to 1986 for an interview we did with Ozzy Osbourne when he was here in St. Louis. He looks a lot different, and you can even understand him. And also, the Wayback Machine is an old 5 o'clock newscast from Channel 5 in 1986, anchored by Jennifer Blome, and boy, does she look different. Not necessarily the news, continues to be Steve Spagnuolo and Sam Bradford. You can check that out. And JC's Eye Candy today. Well, you never know who you're going to run into at a Cardinal baseball game when the lights go down in the city. That's all I'm telling you. You got to look it up. JC's Eye Candy. All right, so that's it. Have a great weekend. We're going to be twisting by the pool because they continue to pay me for doing nothing. So as I said earlier, what would you do? Wouldn't you try to enjoy it a little bit? That's what I'm doing. But we'll be back here on Monday with another edition of the Daily Dose. Please tell your friends who used to listen to the old showgram that we are here every day, and we have lots of cool stuff coming. Oh, we got some great Wayback Machine and Video Village stuff for you next week, by the way. That's it, the Daily Dose for Friday, June 4th, 2010. A cooperative venture with Mind Active in beautiful downtown Brentwood. And in the meantime, we've beaten this one to death. Have a good one. See you later. Bye.